all of us, I think, who are here in this room, we have heard this proverb that failure is the pillar of success. And when we write about this or think about it, we think that, okay, yes, if there is a failure, then we have to diagnose, we have to see what was there that went wrong, and then we should take lesson and move forward. Usually we look at the thing when we see the proverb that failure is pillar of success in a way of a strategic learning. But there are other things that I'm going to talk about today. So the transition from failure to success, when we say that failure is a pillar of success, the transition takes place how you process failure, how you emotionally deal with it. If you are not prepared to deal with it properly, then actually it doesn't turn to be a success. And what do I mean by that? So when there is this failure thing we are talking about, there are some dimension of it. One is that we usually somehow know that we have to learn from failure, but another part is it's very important that you prepare yourself to face the failure. And what do I mean by that? Let me give some example from my own life. In my life, usually when we talk, we often say that people saying that, okay, I was a very failure in my early life and then I became successful. In my case, as a child, I was a kid that usually all parents actually aspire. How so? I was first in the class, always coming first. And the gap between the first and the second position will be something like 100 marks or even more than that. So no one was near to me. So everybody in my class used to think of who will get the second position. They never think of the first position. And then I was very good at singing in my childhood. I used to take singing lesson. And wherever I go for singing competition, I would come in the top. I used to take part in debate. I was the leader of the debate team in my school, and also in the college I was the second speaker in the debate team. So I took part in all those competitions and mostly came out very successful. And not only that, I was good in sports too. I was a very good runner. And I would come mostly on the top when I run. So it's like, and I also, yes, not to forget that I used to take part in drama and other things. So I was a kid doing everything, and then was a very polite child, not fighting with my siblings because I was the youngest one. So I was, because the youngest one usually get privileges, and then a kid like me having all the, prizes and everything, and then good academic career, I was like flying like anything. But what I missed in my whole childhood, that I never faced any failure. I don't know how it feels to be told by your parents that go to your desk and study, because my parents never had to do that. I was doing my study because, I get my results. So what I did not learn in my entire childhood, that how it feels if you secure a second position, how it feels if you don't get the highest mark in the class test. Many of you would think that, oh ma'am, it's okay. But for me, it was not okay. Because I was not ready to accept any failure, anything at all, even small or big, anything. And that's a big lesson I had to learn over the years, giving big prize actually. Because if you don't know how to process when you face something you wanted and you could not achieve, and you become very depressed, you become upset with small little things. I remember when I started my undergrad in Dhaka University in the economics department, the first class test, only a class test we took. In that class test, I got 7 out of 10, but the highest mark was 8 out of 10. I remember I could not sleep the whole night. why I did not get the highest mark. And you know what I did? I thought that, okay, I'm not going to study economics because I did not get the highest mark in the first exam. So maybe I'll not do good. And I thought everything. And next morning I went to the dean of the social science department and I told him that, can I change my department? And he was like so surprised because I have to say that because I was first all along, I also have to say that I was the first in Dhaka board humanities group among boys and girls. So I stood first in SSC and HSC too. My pictures came with my parents like this. So that I also have to tell you. So that girl went in the university and when I told the dean that, no, I don't want to study economics. And he asked why. And I said, because in the first exam I did not get the highest mark and maybe I'll not do good. That's why I want to change. And it was good of him. He said, okay, I'm not mentioning that other department I wanted to move to. And he said, okay, go there, take some classes and come back after 1 week. I never went back because I went to the class of that department, but I did not like that subject. So because I did not like, and with a very heavy heart that, okay, it's better to be in economics and maybe try for a better result and not going to the other subject, just because I did not like that. But then, this is the way, these were like small things, I would say. So I'm not going to share very specific things, but I had to pay a big price in my personal life. Why? Because I thought when you are not doing good in your personal life, and because you are so much successful otherwise, so if you declare or share that this is a quote, failure, that I'm not successful here, then what would my friends say? What would my relatives say? Here comes a failure of Nazneen. I cannot accept it. I have to be the successful girl because that's what I am used to. So I was not ready to accept it. And I paid big price for that, emotional price. I was not emotionally free. I was doing many things, but at the end of the day, when you look at yourself in the mirror, you see how unhappy you are. The whole world sees your success, your faces, your smile and everything, but at the end of the day, you feel how empty it is inside. So when I was really at the verge of, breaking down, depressed, at that time, if it was these days, maybe I should have taken support from counseling and others. But what I started doing by myself, because at that time I did not know, even I was not really sure whether I should take professional help, maybe people would know somehow, so I don't want to disclose. So what I started to exercise mindfulness without knowing this term actually. I started with very simple thing, relaxation, just by looking at the videos and everything. So relaxation, meditation, accepting things, and then preparing myself that it's okay actually to accept the failure and move on. And I could do that 6 years back. And now, after that, I could say sometimes we don't want to explore the unknown avenue. So we remain in a suboptimal equilibrium. What's that? It's like, okay, it's fine, I'm facing this and this and this, but if I stop this and want to move forward, I don't know the unknown territory. So we are scared of failure there, and we don't do that. But when I did that, when I could overcome that barrier in my personal life, I became so happy, and I am happy. So what I'm trying to tell you here, that we should welcome failure, just not that it's a failure. We should prepare ourselves for any situation. And how can we do that? If you even look at the Human Development Report of 2021-22 that the United Nations published, you will see that in this latest report, they say that it's very important to take care of our mental health, to take care of our emotion. So when we all should opt for success, we should not just say that, okay, yes, I need failure because it was told that failure is pillar of success. No, 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 you are not doing that. But it may come. So you prepare yourself in such a way that, like me, you don't take a decision next morning just by getting one, not a highest number in one course, one class test. So you don't take that kind of a decision. You prepare yourself that, okay, it's okay not to get the highest mark in one exam and I can prepare myself. So if doesn't matter whether it's in your personal life, your professional life, your student life, make yourself prepared, make it a habit where you habitually see the positive side of your life. And then you will really be emotionally free. You can take the decision whatever is necessary, whenever it's necessary. So I want to conclude by saying that you can be happy if you take care of yourself. Thank you very much.